𝗚𝗲𝘁 𝗧𝗵𝗲, Senior Financial Advisor. Been in the business of helping people for 27 years. And finding Ari a year or two ago has just been phenomenal, inspirational, frankly, and career changing. So make sure you can get your head out of the door when this is over, Ari. But I've got one to stump you, okay?
Bring it on.
All right. I've had a client for over 10 years, and she's been a good client, but she has a little bit of a mind of her own, and she just retired, and she has about 25% of her portfolio in her retirement plan. So in so many words, I said to her today in a meeting, so when are we moving that over so that we can incorporate it in your plan? And she said, I don't think I'm moving it over. I'm going to give it to somebody else.
Okay.
And Ari says,
well, let's go backwards for a second, not forwards. The question is, what triggered her to not be open to moving it to you? Why did she react like that? And what I'm picking up in your languaging when you said to her, why don't we move things over here to map to your plan, right?
No, let me, to be specific.
Yeah.
She's had this with another, it's part of her retirement plan.
Sure.
And she called me and said, I think I'm ready to move that money over.
Okay.
So when we were meeting today, I didn't say it like that. I said, well, I said, Tammy, how would you like to proceed from here with that money?
Oh, I see. So let me get this right. She calls you and says, hi, I want to move some money over. You say, great. When do you want to move it over?
No, I said, great, let's get together.
Let's get together.
Let's review your plan.
Got it.
And we'll go from there.
And then you got together with her?
Today we had our meeting. We went through the plan.
And then you said what?
We talked about several strategies
for
her to implement going forward.
Sure.
And then I said, you told me about these funds. Where would you where would you like to go from here?
Got it. Now, why do you suppose she says to you initially, I'm ready to move my funds, and then your meeting, she says to you, I don't want to do it? What happened in between, you think? Why did she change her mind all of a sudden?
Great question. I said to her,
yeah, go ahead.
She said, well, she'd like to diversify her advice.
That's so interesting, because she says to you, I'm ready to move my money. She says to you, I'm 𝗚𝗲𝘁 𝗧𝗵𝗲. She has a meeting with you. You lay the plan out. You do everything you're supposed to do. And at the end, the complete opposite of what she said from the beginning. Now, I have to beg the question, what happened to cause her to go through all that at the end, do nothing? I mean, that's a real question to ask ourselves. I wasn't there, so I don't know, but it begs the question. See, here's what I would see. That's because the goal is the truth, not the sale. The goal is to figure out what happened. What did you do on your end that may have triggered her to change her mind?
She said, it's nothing you did. She said, 𝗚𝗲𝘁, it's not you. It's nothing personal.
So what is it?
I want to diversify my advice.
Advice? Diversify? What does that even mean?
That means, well, maybe I'll get some different recommendations that maybe
Right.
could be better than
I
what
know.
you're recommending.
So
And
what I'm
so
trying,
let me tell you what I did. I said, you know, in the very best terms, I'm a fiduciary and I have to do what's in your best
I
interest.
understand you're trying to show her that you're solid. I get that. But what I'm trying to get at is this,
I
Norris.
said, do you
Since-
trust me? She said,
No, no, hold,
absolutely.
okay, hold on. But she's not telling you the truth. There is something going on under the surface that made her flip from I'm in, let's do this, to I'm not in. Something is going on there, no matter how honest and truthful you are and legitimate you are. So, what I would probably say to her in that scenario, I'd say, I'm just curious. What has changed for you from the moment you gave me a call to suggest you want to consolidate your funds here under your plan we talked about to where we are right now? If you wouldn't mind to share with me a little bit about your thoughts are about that, it'd be great. I want to understand what caused her to shut down with you and get skeptical and go elsewhere to diversify, because diversify means she felt risk by putting it all with you. So I want to know what is underneath that thing. So the only thing you can do right now is this with her. Give it a few days. Give her a call back and use the apology approach. Say, hey, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Like, I just want to give you a call and I want to apologize to you. I was under the impression when you gave me a call that you wanted to consolidate and move things forward, and I thought I did the right thing by walking the plan on how to do that. And I'm perfectly okay changing your mind, but I'm just curious. Well, listen, feedback from you. What did I do on my end that made you feel uncomfortable moving from your initial request? If you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
And
It's too late. I sent her an email about an hour or two ago. I thanked her for coming in. I reviewed what we did. We talked about future steps. And then I said, however, we really can't go forward until we resolve this issue because I can't accept a portfolio with multiple advisors.
yeah, I know. You're closing her down. I get it, but you got to change your approach, Norris, to give it some space to breathe a bit. And then allow you to re-engage her, not in an email, but with a humble conversation, following your sword and say, hey, maybe it was me, maybe something on my end made you feel uncomfortable, and I'm just curious. How
No,
can I?
no, you didn't make me feel uncomfortable. I
So
just
what
wanted to talk
changed?
about my
So
advice.
what? No problem. What changed from your initial call to me to the end of our process? I would love to know what your thoughts are on that made you feel like you need to change. What would that be? Lower your voice. Don't be defensive. Be soft in your tone. Give her permission to tell you the truth of what made her change her mind. Something triggered her to change her mind from her initial request to you to the end.
What about it? And I don't want all my money with one advisor.
So I'm just curious, how come your initial request was to put everything into one advisor with me?
Well, I
What
rethought it,
changed?
and I've decided I don't want to
But
have it
what
all.
and what is it that triggered that decision? What changed from? Okay, we can go. I'm just telling you in
I
general,
hear you.
Norris. Don't make any assumptions. Get to the bottom of this thing and fall on your sword and say, hey, maybe it was me. I'm just curious. What was it that caused you to change from X to Y? That's all I'm suggesting to you. And just pull back a bit so you don't, because I feel like a bit of tension and defensiveness about, hey, I can't work with you if you're not going to do this kind of thing. So it's upsetting that you were set on this trail to move forward. At the end, she pulled back on you. That feels not right, right? Because she set you on a certain track.
And she
So
basically said, Norris, I trust you, but I don't really trust you with all my money.
I know, and that's why you feel slighted, and that's why you feel a bit defensive about it, because it doesn't feel right to be. That's why I'm so curious to understand what happened. Anyways, all I'm suggesting you is give it some space, give it about a week, give her a call, and get the truth.